Welcome back to a brand new live stream on the channel. I hope everyone's having a good day today. Drop a like on your way in. Let's hit 100 likes today. The market is very, very bullish. We have breached the 100K region. And I do think in the following week to a month, I think I'll probably say the next 2 weeks, we will most likely hit a new all-time high. And then we'll have some sort of small pullback. So if I had to draw this out, it would probably be like, something like this, 112, and then somewhere around these regions, right? We'll have a new all-time high, have a pullback, and then from there, I genuinely think it will actually be the final blow off top. I don't really see us, a lot of people right now are, well, the bears, at least, I think maybe 140, maybe 150 is the top. As we get closer to at the higher we go, the more outrageous the predictions are going to get. So when we get to 140, 150, 130, a lot of people are going to start predicting 200K. Some people are going to be predicting 250K. Your job as investors, is some people that actually want to walk away with money from this space, because you can make so much money in a short period of time in crypto that you oftentimes forget to sell and you get very greedy. And the Twitter sentiment does not help a lot. When everything's bullish, people start throwing out crazy numbers, and some people fall for it, and they do become victims of the cycle, where they are oftentimes holding their bags all the way down. Some people do that. Some people are smart, they sell, and they know the market is not going to come back up. But a lot of people round trip, and when you round trip, what tends to happen is you're just going to be holding these bags for another 3-4 years. Once we get past 130, once we get to 140, 150, you have to be able to start taking, you have to take profits. You don't have a choice. And it's going to be hard because the greed will take over. But if you guys have not learned, if you guys did not learn from December that how quick the market can shift, then if you round trip again, then you have to blame yourselves. So I think we'll have a new all-time high within the next 2 weeks, because a lot of bullish stuff is coming out. We'll have some sort of pullback, to maybe people take profits. We go for a new all-time high. The people that's been accumulating down here, they might take some profits. We'll have some sort of pullback. And then off from there, a lot of bears will get trapped here, in my opinion, because when we do have this pullback, the bears are going to be predicting 80K, 70K again. The reality is that's never going to happen again. You've missed the opportunity unless some sort of black swan event happens. Those ones you can't predict, and I don't think anyone should try to predict a black swan. And then from there, I think we'll go into the blow off top. Whether we'll have a second top like 2020, 2021 cycle is going to be hard. But once we get to the 140, 150, you have to be able to take profits. You have to be out most of the markets. And if you have the pullback and it looks like it wants to go higher for a second double top, then you can always re-enter. That's what my thesis is at the moment. We are very, very bullish. CPI came in today and is looking very good. We had core inflation coming at 2.8, so it came in as predicted, which is it's still okay. But inflation year over year actually came in a lot lower than they predicted. So they were predicting 2.5. Previous was 2.4. It came in as 2.3, and this correlates with trueflation. The trueflation numbers I've been showing you guys. We are at the we're basically 1.5 to 1.6 at the moment. I have not checked in a few days, but it changes every day. But we are going towards the de-inflation trend. Eventually, we might actually go deflationary, but at the moment, we are going to be. I think for the next couple of months, I think inflation will come back down. But the only issue is, and why I don't think the Fed will cut next month, is very, very simple. Obviously, look, the rate cut stuff changes every single week. If the economy is doing okay, the Fed is less likely to cut rates. When we was down here, everyone was screaming rate cuts, specifically because the economy was not looking good. The stock market was struggling. People were calling for recessions, and it made sense for everyone to start predicting rate cuts from June onwards. But now we're up here, and everything's looking good. Unemployment steady, inflation's coming down at a steady rate. The Fed has no reason to cut. And one of the things that's I think mostly stopping the Fed cutting is the 10-year bond market. This is not normal. This is not how the bonds are supposed to work. This should be coming down as stocks go up. But what's happening is people are actually selling their bonds. And I think the biggest reason why this is actually happening is because investors are going to the yen, because the yen gives you 10% yield returns and you will give you 5%. This gives you 4.4%, which means if you're an investor and you're an institution, you're not going to go to the 10-year bond. You're going to go to the Eurozone and you're going to go to the yen because they give you way more returns. A lot of investors are going into the 3 months, the 6 months, the 1 month, the 9 month in the Eurozone. Some are going to the yen because you get way more yield there. And that's why we're seeing the 10-year struggling so much. And this is something that Trump always talks about when he says that a lot of countries are doing manipulation through their currency. This is how it affects the US markets. No one likes to buy the bonds when there's more yield elsewhere. So why would someone lock in, 10 years into the US bonds when they can go and get 10% or 5% or 6% in the Eurozone and in the Japanese markets for a shorter period of time? And this is exactly why this goes up. I think if we hit this region like we did previously, I think we'll have some sort of pullback because they will have to I think they will have to engineer some sort of crash to bring this back down. If we blast up to the 5% region like we did over here, then it's very, very likely the Fed will have to either step in and buy some bonds back. They have to do something because 5% is, for the 10 years, is ridiculous, too high. Silver, good to see you. We will go over the top 5 altcoins that has not pumped yet. We will go over that. Cookie, good to see you. Good to see everyone in the chat. I don't know why my new comments are not showing up. Tristan, good to see you, my friend. Alex, walaikum salam, bro. Good to see you, brother. Shalom. Is that how you say it? Julian, good to see you. Kim, good to see you. Matil, good to see you as well. Good to see everyone in the chat, guys. Hit the likes on your way in. Subho, good to see you, my friend. Sniffed, still good. Yeah, Sniffed is still good, my friend. Look, you guys have to understand, with low caps, the very low caps, the very degen coins, right? These are only going to pump when we get into extreme greed. This is the only time the very low caps will pump. They're not going to pump now. This has been pumping a decent amount. It's up about 20%, and it broke its long-term trend. So I don't want to go and search it up on thingy, but it broke its long-term trend. This is when it broke out of the trend, which means the chart is looking bullish for Snift. So if it's a good time to accumulate, this is a good time to bring your averages down. This is a fundamentally strong project. They are backed by the Binance Labs. One thing I've realized with Binance Lab coins is at some point, the VCs or Binance will inject some liquidity into it and they will pump it up because they need exit liquidity. So they will do that. They did the exact same thing with Mavia. They pumped Mavia, stupid amounts in a space of a week, and they used everyone as retail, as exit liquidity. And I think they'll do the exact same thing with this. But if you're invested into it now, when no one cares about it, you can take advantage of when that pump comes. So this will pump, I think, because it's AI agents and it caters to the gaming narrative. And I think AI agents, it pumped last time with AI agents. It pumped about 6x, 7x from the lows, but it came out, when no one really knew about it. But as time went on, more and more people know about this project. Now, it came out in October. In November, we had the pump. So it's fairly new, has not seen a bull run yet. And I do think it will pump at some point, my friend. Once AI agents really heat up and we get a little bit, when we go back into the extreme greed, this will definitely pump. Smash the likes. Exactly, guys. Smash the likes. Let's get to 100 likes. I am going to be a lot more active on the channel now. I did some AMAs recently with Bricken CEO, and I got one with Sensei CEO planned on Friday. So this Friday, I got an AMA with Sensei CEO as well. He's going to come on, tell us all the updates, all the coming stuff coming for Sensei. It's going to be pretty good, I think. Last time he did well. This time, I think it will continue to do well. I hope so, bro. Good to see you, my friend. I do remember, yes, the bottom will be on the 11th of March. I remember that. That was a specific date as well. The top will be 9th of October this year. Personally, I think I'm going to be out of the markets a little bit earlier, and that's because my bags are a lot bigger than a lot of other people's. So I'm going to be exiting a lot quicker. But, like I said, don't get too greedy. It could actually go on to October, maybe September, October times. But like I said, August, the latest for me. That's going to be the latest for me. I'm only going to stay in the markets till like August-ish. I'll keep moonbags. Like I said, it's always smart to keep moonbags because the reality is some of these altcoins will continue to pump, if the cycle continues to run, and they can pump stupid amounts. Like, for example, if you made a 30x and it does another 50%, you make a 60x from the original point you sell. So that's why you always leave moonbags. Good to see you, Merkel. RK, good to see you as well, buddy. How are you? You think end of this month will be a correction or not? I think the opportunity to invest in the month. I don't think so. No, I think if you're sitting on cash, even I have 10% cash on the side. The best thing to do is wait for a narrative to pop and then use your cash to trade in that narrative. So, like I said, when I always tell people, keep cash on the side, because what you want to do is if a narrative is running, yes, you have your coins in that narrative, but your coins will pump. But at the same time, there's going to be 100 other new coins launching that you can take advantage of and make stupid money. So, for example, when the AI agent narrative was pumping, there was 10, 20 other coins you could have traded during that period would have made you stupid amounts of money anyways on top of your long-term bags. So that's why you keep cash on the side for trading. This is how the markets normally work. Everything kind of pumps together, and then after a couple of weeks, one specific narrative takes over. So you have to watch out what that narrative be. I think it could be RWA, because yesterday we had the RWA summit where the governments and the SEC was actually speaking about tokenization. So we're going to see the results of that within the next couple of days, and that could kickstart an RWA pump. So if you look at Bricken, it's looking like is in an RWA season. It's up 3x from the lows. If you got in at the very lows, at the 12-cent region, you would have been up pretty much, almost 3x. So this is doing very well. And if you guys actually listen to the AMA, these guys, Bricken has a lot of stuff coming, a lot of bullish stuff. One of them, I know you guys love exchange listings. I spoke to this Bricken CEO the other day on the AMA. You guys can go listen to it. He said towards the end of last year, December to early 2025, January times, they're actually going to start listing on some exchanges. But luckily they didn't, because from there on, the market just went to shits. And I've always told people, and people don't believe me, but when you have these CEOs of projects telling you the exact same thing, is exchange listings all about timing. A lot of people love exchange listings when the coin's going down, or list on exchange so you can have a little pump, and then nothing's bigger than the program. When the Bitcoin's going down, everything will pump. It doesn't matter how much bullish news you bring out, no one's going to give a shit. So the best thing to do is you keep all the bullish news on the side, and then when the market starts going up, you start releasing all the bullish news. A very, very good coin that does this all the time is AI Tech. AI Tech had all these bullish news lined up. As soon as the chart started looking like it was going to break out and the market got a bit bullish, AI Tech just started spamming new partnerships, $1 million buyback, data centers finished. And today they've just got an IBM startup partner plus program, whatever that is. These guys are very good at marketing, and that's why AI Tech from the lows is up 3x. And I think this will continue to pump. People got to realize, right? And I've heard some retards say, and I will some haters, right? They say, "Oh, AI Tech, all it's done is go down for the last year and a half." Well, you have to use your brain and understand, crypto doesn't work on individual coins; it works in narratives. So if you look at any deepin coin, for example, the main one is Render. Just tell me how Render's been performing the last year and a half, and you tell me if Deepin has had a good season. Look at Render's chart. This is not a Deepin season pump. This was a Deepin season pump for Render when it went from 43 cents in 2022. In 2023, when Deepin really started running, this ran from $1.40 from the lows, let's say around here, $1.50, $1.40, all the way up to basically $13. That is what a deepin pump looks like. This is not a deepin pump. Every single project in November pumped, including Render, but it's not Deepin didn't take over. IONET is another good example. Look at IONET's chart. If we had the Deepin pump, IONET would have been up a lot more than it was in November, December. Look at this. This was a tiny pump for what IONET is capable of. This pump like 2.5x. So you have to be patient and understand that individual coins do not run the markets. There's always going to be a few outperformers, but it is a collective thing. If Deepin does not pump, and it has not pumped for the last year and a half, you can't expect AI tech to do the exact same thing. But what we're seeing a lot more people start talking about data centers now. Eric Trump, he's invested into a bunch of data centers. We're looking at Nvidia doing well again. Nvidia is a good example. Shit, my laptop's running out of charge. But Nvidia is a prime example of when Deepin does well. And if Nvidia does well, Deepin will do well. That's what happened in 2023 and 2024 cycles. Nvidia was going parabolic, and every single Deepin coin in the space went and done really well. So if we see Nvidia break out, put a new all-time high again, the exact same thing will happen again. But we haven't seen gaming do anything for the last year and a half, and we haven't seen Deepin do anything for the last year and a half. So you can't judge individual projects. You have to be a bit smart, bro. Like, people are so stupid, they don't realize they pick on individual projects, but you have to look at the narrative in general. The only thing that really pumped in November, December was AI agents. That's it. We had a little pump in RWA, but nothing major. Most RWA coins done between a 5, 3, 7. Some did really well, but there's always going to be a few that does really well. But those are the ones you're never going to hear of because it's just being shielded by a bunch of influencers. Catnip, good to see you as well. Always good to have live and hear your views on macros. Thank you very much, my friend. The macros are looking phenomenal right now because what the environment that we need for an alt season is specifically we want unemployment to stay steady and we want inflation to come down. And that is exactly what we're getting right now. We're having unemployment consolidate at the same region. So people are not concerned about unemployment anymore. We're having inflation going down. So people are not concerned about inflation anymore. And we're having Trump sort out all the deals, which means there's really nothing apart from some random black swan event that could happen, which I don't think it will at the moment, that will bring us down. So the reality is the only thing that could happen from here is we're most likely going to keep going higher. And that is what I think will happen. And the best thing to do is position yourself in coins that has not pumped yet. You look at OORT. OORT has not pumped yet. It had a lower pump, but it's not anything major. But OORT has always been one of those coins that's just steady, and it will just explode up. That's what happened last time. It was steady, November, December, everything was bullish. OORT was just chilling. It pumped a little bit, came back down, and then it just exploded up. The exact same thing will happen again. I think this will really, really pump with Deepin, because you look at the nodes. These guys have 80,000 nodes across the world. And someone asked me today, they asked me, how do you actually confirm the nodes? Well, every single node that gets purchased is on the blockchain. Everything you do on the data hub they have is on the blockchain. 93,000 nodes, 79,000 nodes across 125 countries. This is going to grow. Once we get 100K, I think this is really going to start picking up. I think a lot more people are going to start looking into it now. But 80,000 nodes across the world is very impressive. I've not seen any other project that has this. But there's a few good things coming for OORT, and this has not pumped yet. Number one, the fully diluted will be solved, which means that this is going to come down by 40%. So you're going to see it something like 20, 50, 60. So that's going to be a massive difference. The fully diluted coming down is massive. It's going to be 1.1 is basically 2 billion over here, but it's going to be 1.1. It's a big difference. So the fully diluted is going to come down significantly. That's one bullish. They're going to be bridging over to Solana and Ton within the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be very bullish. I think anything that goes on Solana gets a lot of hype in the short term. And we're also going to have the Launchpad launching as well. So there's a lot of good catalysts coming for this project. And it's one of those that has not yet pumped. So if you're going to position yourself in something that has not pumped, this is the one. The chart looks very bullish. It just needs a breakout. That's it. Once the breakout happens, a lot of people are going to FOMO in. Fantastical, Izzy, good to see you. Tim, good to see you as well, buddy. Another coin that has a bunch of updates this month is Unity. It's up 2x from the lows. It's pumping again, 28%. This is, everyone faded this. Tim, 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 I seen you. I've seen it. Someone sent it to me actually. I've seen you on coin market cap flooding Unity. I don't know about that one, Tim. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it, but hold on. I'll find it. Look, someone's hating already. Let me see if I can find it. Tim, there you are, Tim. Unity still 4x dilution to come. The trouble of these Ponzi is too much dilution. First of all, let's go over to the dilution of Unity. And let me correct you that there is not 4x dilution coming, Tim, my friend. The dilution is, if it will fucking load up, bro. My internet's so shit today. Let me go down. Is everything fine? Everything, first of all, everything in crypto is a Ponzi. So you have to get that through your head. There is very, very few legit projects in crypto. XRP is the big in crypto space. So when you talk about Ponzi's, everything's a Ponzi. Now you tell me how this has 4x dilution when a majority of the investments are already out. There's no 4x dilution. Is basically 500k market cap with the next unlock. By the end of the year, it will be 700k in market cap. How is that 4x dilution? I'm confused. That's less than 1x dilution. So I don't know where the fuck, Tim, you've got the 4x dilution bullshit that you've put on there. This has less than 1x dilution. On the next unlock, it will be 500k in cap. By the end of the year, by the end of 2025, it will be 700k in cap. That is not 5x dilution, my friend. 4x dilution or whatever the fuck you wrote down. Stop funding the project. It's up 30% today. It's a degen coin. And the thing is, most gaming coins are dead, but this still pumps. And this looks like a Ponzi pump, though, I'll be honest. This looks like the thingy chart, the Maneki chart. But yeah, this is a weird pump, but you know, they did say they're bringing out their game, so it could just be early VC investors possibly positioning themselves before the game comes out. Oh, there we go. Look, there we go. The game is coming out. I knew it. The countdown begins. A new era begins as the track. Get ready for the world's first ever multiplayer horse racing RPG. 4 classes, blah, 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 blah. Look, the game's coming out. I told you guys the game's going to come out. They still have a big get listing on the coming up. So if you guys, this is what smart teams do. And a lot of people call this a scam. It confuses me because outside of crypto, the team behind this project has over 30 employees. Why is my internet so shit? But this has a legit team behind it. It's not a Ponzi. But people don't realize the liquidity for Unity is fuck all. There's no liquidity. It's like 30k liquidity. Why would a reputable company with 30 plus employees rug a coin for 30k when they got games generating them millions in revenue? It doesn't make sense. So when people call this a Ponzi, it's just based on price action. That's it. If you look at the price action for any gaming coin for the last fucking ever since they launched in 2024, every single one of them is a Ponzi. Every single one of them. But at least this pumps when the market gets bullish. Most gaming coins don't do that. So with people calling this a Ponzi, it's just specifically based on price action. But I can guarantee you, I can pull up any coin. The chart looks like this. Any gaming coin specifically looks like this, if it's not worse. So stop calling stuff a Ponzi with no little knowledge on the project. That's enough ranting, bro. My man, what's your thoughts on Oki? I like Oki as a project, but this is like OORT. It's not gonna move, but unlike OORT doesn't really have a lot of unlocks. This, on the other hand, is infested with unlocks. So yes, they are burning and doing a bunch of other stuff, which is very bullish. And I do think the narrative will kick in at some point. But I think it's too early for that specific narrative because the unlocks are just terrible. This is what's keeping this back. I mean, come on, bro. Anyone with a brain, despite how good a project is, unless it's Sui or something, look at this chart and will tell you, I don't want to invest into that project. This is how this is. The unlocks are just terrible for this project. And it doesn't really have the volume to pump sufficiently. It does pump from time, but the reality is this has too much unlocks. I would rather buy all over this, but I do like it as a project. If you're talking about fundamentals outside of the vesting schedule, this is a good project. And I think it will do well. But this is one that you kind of grab in the next cycle in the bear market, because once the unlocks are done, this will do well, in my opinion. But yeah. Don't be hating on the point on the games for no reason, bro. Metahorse Unity dropped the new game. This game's on Bean. It's on Bean. When Bean, eventually it's coming to the App Store as well. When Bean does well, this will do well as well. Keep that in mind, guys. Let me just repost this shit. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Last time the bonds shot up, Trump stepped in and paused tariffs. Exactly. And, Trump's, like I said a million times, Trump's battle is with the 10-year bond, because his entire goal is very simply put, to bring the bonds down, to refinance the debt. And if it keeps going up, then he can't do it. He can't do that. He can't refinance the debt. So eventually he will step in and fix this. I think he'll fix on his own, though, fairly soon. He wants the Fed to start cutting rates, so this shit comes down, but the Fed is not going to do it. AI tech to $1. I think it's possible, Big GG. AI tech is just, look, people, if you base anything on price action, everything's a scam in crypto. And only the retards do this. People were like, oh, you were shilling AI tech. One guy was saying this. You were shilling AI tech. He hasn't done anything for the last year. Okay. It's up 3x from the lows, though. Nothing since the last year and a half has done anything. Apart from AI agent coins, that's it. Everything else has been dead. And the only retards say stuff like this. But I think this will reach at least 1 billion in cap. So at least it will probably reach at least 60 cents at least. I think it could go to at least between 1 to 3 billion, has been my base case for a very long time. I think it still stands. It would have been better if the market wasn't bearish in 2024, because that would have been like hundreds of X's. But from this point on, it'll probably be between 10 to 30X, which I think is possible because they have a tier 1 listing coming in Q2, which probably most likely would be Binance. My most realistic alt prediction is like I would say it would definitely do a 10x once Deepin wakes up. But I would say in a bullish market, a 10x is kind of bearish because a 10x would only put it at 200K in cap. But I would say between 300 to 1 billion is possible for alt in a bullish market. It was on its way to get there on the previous pump, but power cut it short. It went to 70 billion in that time period. This could, if that pump continued, because the thing is, right, once people find out about OORT, and they're only going to find out during the pumps, they're not going to find out when it's bearish. People find out about coins during the pumps. Once they look into it and they understand how good it is, money will start flowing into it. But it got cut short because of power, fortunately. So yeah, I think 200-300 is very easy done, because that'll just put it at a 10x. But I think a 30x is possible for from this current price on. That's not too over bullish, and I think that's a. How do I look at HEU? I think it's a degen framework agent. This is the one that Finger was talking about everything altcoin. I don't think it's bad. If you want a degen coin, this can do. Like, it's one of those where you chuck in money and forget about it. But the one thing I don't like about it is the unlocks. And people say unlocks don't matter in a bullish market, and I do agree with them. Unlocks does not matter in a bullish market. However, you have to look at the fundraising stuff, right? Oh, these guys are still down, so that means these guys are slightly up on their investments. Yeah, it's not too bad, I would say. Let me look at the vesting schedule. There's an unlock today. Is it linear? Oh, it is linear, yeah. It's linear unlocks, about 18 grand a day. By the end of the year, so it's at 5 million now. By the end of the year, where is it? End of, let's say, December, it'd be 10 million. So it's like 2x dilution. It's not too bad. For a low cap, it's not bad at all. But the thing is, the volume is ass, bro. Like, that's not good volume for 6 million in cap. But yeah, it's not. It's a degen coin phenom. So if you want to chuck in some money in a degen pick, and I'm pretty sure it's on base. Yeah, if you want to chuck something on base, then this is not a bad one. It's a framework token. People will use it. If people utilize it, it will do well. Savage, how you doing, my friend? Alex, Wafu. Oh, I forgot about this. We called this in a private group and done 100x. Has it not pumped yet? Whoa, it hasn't pumped yet. Surprised. This hasn't pumped yet. The volume is decent. I think this will have its time again. But like I said, on when I made the AI agent tier list video, I said few projects stand out. One of them was Ava AI because it was very close to virtuals, and I thought it could do well. And this done about 10x in a very short period of time. I told someone to buy this. It done 3x from when I told him to buy it. But this one, it stands out as different because it's similar to virtuals, and you can make AI agents for games, which is unique. You look at this one right here, Dasher. Dasher only does one thing, and is just launching AI agents like a pump fund version of a thing. But the problem with this is there's too many of them. And that's why I stay away from this. I never touch this project for that one specific reason is because there's too many of these type of projects. We got Radium, Pump Fund, we got Pump Fund itself, we got Bonk launching an AI launchpad, we've got Virtuals doing it now, we've got every fucking chain doing it. How is this gonna stand out? This doesn't do anything different than all the other ones do. That's why I stayed away from Launchpad AI agent coins. Look at Sny. Sny is another one that does Launchpad AI. It's been struggling. You have to look for unique projects. Look at this. This looks like the Wafu chart. But you look at some of the unique ones, they've done a lot better. Look at Ace, ALCH, whatever the fuck is Alchemist one. This is not a Launchpad, but it's done very well. The Launchpads, there's a lot of competition. So you have to do something unique, or the market has to prefer you. Virtuals is there as well. So you got way too many launchpads, and only one or two will get used. The rest of them will just be in the background. They'll pump here and there, but fuck all. That's why you have to be very careful which one you pick when it comes to launchpads. Bricken doing running again. Let me see. Well, Bricken's gonna start pumping hard. There's too many updates coming. They are a massive partnership. I can't disclose it because it's confidential. But trust me, there's a massive partnership coming for this project. And those of you guys that listen to me and bought into this, when that partnership comes, I think this will reach at least $500 million to $1 billion in market cap. This one, I think, is very doable. And the reason is, it's just if you compare it to most other, RWA coins, most RWA coins or specific RWA coins focus on one sector. So you got prop base that does the real estate, you got prop C that does the real estate, you got like Plume that does a little bit of everything. But Bricken is the only one that does anything. If it generates revenue, they will tokenize it for you, and they've done 300 million plus in tokenization revenue, and their team members expanded. Look, you guys need to go watch the AMA because there's a lot of stuff coming. I'm not going to keep talking about Britain though. Cola is doing well as well. I had a trade on Cola and I made like a 2x on it. But Cola is another good one. But look, Cola is good. and I do trade this a lot because it's very volatile. But the one I like, and I think will probably do better than Cola. How the fuck did this have 21 million volume? That's retarded. Is Art Trade ATR? I think will do better than Cola in my opinion. Yo, that volume on Cola is retarded, bro. That's how you know it's bot volume, because you look at the exchange volume. Most of the volume is on Albank. That's a fucking bots. Look how much it is on Mexi. It's 120k fake volume. Do not be fooled by the crazy 21 million volume, because most of it is just fucking bots. They just pay a bot to sell buy to each other, 10,000 times a day, and the volume shoots up. Agri, good to see you, bro. What do I think is a good time to buy art if I consider investing, or would you not trust the Indian team? Yo, that's funny, bro. Timbo said, would you not trust the Indians? That's the only RWA coin on Sui from the top of my head. Yo, that's funny. That is RT5. Let's see. Oh, it's Art5, not RT5. 900k in cap. Let's look at the vesting. Has it not cooled off? It's not too bad. Not too bad. Yo, it's 4 million in cap. What the fuck? The vesting looks calm now. 10k a day. Goes down to 7k. 4 million. Yeah, the vesting looks calm. It's only like there's barely any dilution. I think most of the dilution's already happened. How's the chart looking? RT5. Let's see. 1 million in cap is on Sui. Look, this is one of those, my friend, is you just chuck in some money, like treat it like immunity, chuck in something and forget about it. This is, one of those ones. When RWA picks up, we already know Sui is going to do well. So when RWA picks up and Sui pumps and RWA pumps, people are going to look for RWA coins on Sui. So, it looks like thing is going high again, Bitcoin. Then most likely what will happen is that project will pump as well. But it's going to be delayed. Like I said, the low caps, the micro caps, they're going to be last to pump. So you have to exercise patience with these type of projects. They might not just pump towards like the end of the cycle. They'll probably go parabolic. So you have to understand that. So you keep it on the side, put some money in there, forget about it, and you could come back and it might do like a 10, 20x for you in a very short period of time. It might just explode up randomly. Sal, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, Sal, bro. The OG, one of the most active guys in the private group. Agent layer. Is this the green one? The green logo one. Agent layer. Oh, this one. AI agent layer. This one. This is another launchpad, my friend. Another launchpad. How well is this going to do? Hard to say. But like I said, don't focus on launchpads, because 9 times out of 10, most will not get used. And if most don't get used, they're just going to just die out. They'll pump, obviously, with everything pumps in the market. But personally, I would not invest into this project. Just have one AI agent in the base ecosystem, but not too many. Community News G, yeah. I pulled up. Go on my profile. Pretty sure I just reposted it. How the fuck did I even have 1,000 fucking followers, bro? That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I reposted it. Bullish. They said they got partnerships and shit coming as well. The thing is, this game's on Beam, so I'm just waiting for Beam to give them a shout out, and I do think it could probably move off that the shout out from Beam. Bullish times indeed, Greek 5. Good to see you as well, buddy. How many minimum from Sensei? Just my Satoshi is good to see you, bro. Good to see you as well. I think Sensei is in a very bullish formation right now. So you see this little formation is in. It will break out of this. See how this is? It's just a little consolidation. It explodes up. The exact same thing is going to happen again. There's going to be a little bit of consolidation, and then it will just explode up. That's what happens every time. This is how Sensei moves every single time. You look at the 7-day chart. It will consolidate in this region for a little bit of time, and then it will just explode up. So the exact same thing is going to happen. I think Sensei, because it has the bare minimum dilution, I think it will at least reach its all-time highs, but I think it could do another 5 to 10x from its all-time highs. That's what my guess is, because I think it will at least do 200 million at least. That'll be like a just under 20x from this point on. For this project to do a 200x should not be that hard, as long as they get 1 or 2 more exchange listings. Even 1 more is fine, but they're consistently building, and that's why I like this project, because the team is active everywhere. You know, just look at the engagement they have. 50,000 people watch that. You know, 200 retweets. These guys have a real community behind them, which is why I like it. You know, look at that. Consistent. Every single post gets 20k thingy, 200 likes, 200 retweets, you know, a bunch of comments. That's what community is. And there's going to be a lot more influencers talking about this as well, I think. So yeah, I'm very bullish on Sensei. When I do the AMA on Friday, you guys should join and ask as many questions as you want, you know, at the CEO and what they have planned. When is the altcoin peak likely to happen? I think it will happen a bit earlier. Sometime in August, September is my guess. I wouldn't go past that, my friend. Speaking of RWA summits, prop base is strictly undervalued. Yes, that is one of the projects we will talk about today, because they have a bunch of stuff coming as well. People need to just follow them on Twitter and understand all the updates they have. So prop base has an ETH integration coming. So it's on Base, it's on Aptos, and they're going to have the ETH integration. Now they have a brand new listing coming as well. So prop base has, they said that is in the top 5, or what's it called? Top 5. Can I show it on here? Let me see if I can find it. Actually, I don't think I can. Yeah, but one of the team members said they've secured a listing from the top 5 exchanges. So it's not just one of those. Last time they had an exchange, it was one of those shitty exchanges. Where was it? It was xt.com. It was xt.com. So, you know, this exchange, it's like a tier 4 exchange. It's not tier 3, tier 4, nothing crazy, right? But this time they said they've secured a top 5 to 6 exchange. So it's either going to be KuCoin, it's going to be, I don't know, it's already on Gate. So it's already on the tier 3 exchanges. It's either going to be a KuCoin, a Bybit, a fucking, you know, a crypto.com, one of those ones. It's going to be one of those type of exchanges. So that's going to be very massive for the project. So they have that coming. They have a new exchange listing. They have an ETH integration. They also have a new property listing as well. And people don't realize, right? Why do specific RWA projects perform better than others? It's because of token utility, and PropBase has that token utility. So in order for you to use or invest into the properties, they have staking tiers. The more tokens you stake, the higher allocation you get in that property, meaning that you can generate more yield. ATR does the exact same thing, but they do luxury items, stuff that people want to buy. So recently, they've just got an AP, right? They've just got an AP, and in order for you to participate into the AP, you have to stake the token. So where is the AP? Right here. Look at this AP, right? They've bought this AP. The market value is, what's the market value? Let's see. Fuck knows what the market value is. 18 grand, it says right there, right? But what happens is, if you stake your tokens, depending on how much you stake, you get 20% off to 40% off below market price. This is the whole value of holding ATR, is people engage in the ecosystem. This is what token utility is. The more people use it, the higher the price goes, because the more token is staked, the less in circulation. When there's less in circulation, the higher the price goes, because it becomes a lot more volatile for upside potential. That's why token utility is so important in crypto. You know, and this is peak token utility. They bring out stuff that everyone likes. Everyone likes APs. Everyone likes Rolexes. Everyone likes luxury watches. And all you have to do is stake, and you can bid from it. And if you want it, you can get it 40 to 20 to 40% cheaper market prices. That's massive. You're not gonna. Where else are you gonna get AP that costs 20k for like 12k or 10k, or 15k or 16k? You basically save a bunch of money just by staking on the platform. So this is this is why token utility, like I said, is very important. And these guys, prop base, And ATR does a phenomenal job in token utilities specifically. And that's why I think both of them will do very well. Lots of good news on StateX lately. You think, yeah, StateX is going to do really well. Really well, my friend. Shiro Nico, what the fuck is that, bro? Let's have a look. Shiro, that sounds like a meme coin, bro. Not gonna lie to you guys, I've been investing into meme coins recently. It's just quick trades, man. It's too much money. Too much money to trade. The fuck is this, bro? Shit looks dead. It says 5 million trading volume. If he has the volume, looks good. Could pick up. ChatGPT is expanding to Solana. Bullish move. Yeah, I think that is a bullish move. But people know the more change you expand to, the more markets, the more people you can get trading the coin. So yes, is a very bullish thing. Very bullish. Solana's, OORT is going to be on Solana and Ton very soon. I think Ton will make a comeback. If you look at the Ton ecosystem, most of the coins are shit. So if Ton does well and people go and look on the ecosystem and they see OORT in there, and it's like a phenomenal project, it could do very well. So Solana and Ton is the next two bridges that OORT's going to do. Both of them, I think it will run smoothly. But yeah, anything on Solana will pump. It's like a good hype. I'm still waiting for you to open your private membership. I need projects, and I think you and your group need macroeconomy. Me and my group need your macroeconomy analysis. That is funny, bro. Bro, the last thing I need is your macroeconomic analysis. I don't mind having another one that brings, but my macro knowledge is far better than yours, in my opinion, my friend. Yeah. Anyways, bro. Then again, I don't really know, Superfed. That's a bit of that's a funny comment to make, but my private group needs your macroeconomic analysis. I don't know about that one, bro. My macro outlook has been bang on. I was talking about the Trump plan fucking in January, months before even the plan even happened. That's what you call macro knowledge, bro. You just saying you've timed the bottom on the 11th, that's just TA, that's not macro, bro. And plus, plenty of people in the group call the bottom. It's not rocket science. When you have the double bottom, that's basically the bottom. Have you heard? And plus, bro, everyone already said that the low 70s was going to be the bottom. It's not rocket science. Plenty of people predicted it, my friend. Have you heard about internet? Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's a new BS narrative, bro. It's a fucking narrative made by those what's those guys called, bro? Those influencers that have a lot of manipulation in the meme coin space. They've just come onto the fucking utility space now. So those the Frank Gods and all those scammers, they've just jumped onto that capital market stuff. It could be a narrative, yes. It could be a narrative. Domus 2 is coming out. That will send the nodes even higher. Oh yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, the second version of the nodes is coming out. It's gonna be bullish. Peaks early investors get the tokens today. Yeah, it should fucking every single time these motherfuckers get the tokens, the price jumps and then they slowly start selling off. So this is one of the things that's kept me away from investing into this token. Specifically, the early investors are up like 17x. It's too high, bro. Like you'd be stupid to buy because you're just gonna become exit liquidity for them. When you go on Chain Broker, look at Chain Broker, right? You go look at Peak. Look at these motherfuckers, bro. The private is up. The private got it at 1 cent. So these guys probably got it like 0.05. They're probably up like 30 something X. These motherfuckers are probably up even more. So when these guys start getting to the tokens, it's gonna be fucked for this coin, bro. That's why I stayed away from Peak. I think it's gonna get raped. I don't think, and I think it will pump, but it won't pump as much as people think it will. Like this is one of those you get into the bear market once the early investors are out. So because they get their tokens today or tomorrow, they get the tokens every day. I think now they've token. Let me see. But it's not like this is a bear market play. It's not one of those you buy now. This is, this will do like a 5x or some shit, but bro, these guys are up so much on the investment. Imagine being up. Imagine you're a private investor, right? You're up at the moment 17x. These guys are up 30 something x. These guys are probably up 40, 50x. What the fuck do you think is going to happen when they get the tokens every day? They're going to keep selling the share out of this. And they hold, these guys hold approximately, 30% of the supply, approximately. Private 13, pre-launch private 9. It's already above 20. 30, about 30, 40% of the supply. And then when the core contributors get the tokens as well, sometime in the next, that's 3 months away, just quite some time. But that's like 50% of the supply in the hands of early investors that can keep selling on you every single day while being up between 17 to 50x. That's not a smart investment, in my opinion. That is just exit liquidity. If you can trade it, you can always trade it. But this is a bear market play. By the end of 2026, this will have the unlocks will stop, and it would be a good investment at that time. At the moment, it does not make sense to invest into this, in my personal opinion. It's just too much early investors, and they're up too much. I would stay away from it. Well, don't CGV, my friend, is basically this token now. So the CGV migrated into this token, and I don't even know why they pumped, because their token's not useful anymore. This is what CGV migrated into. Solvkey, Cogito Finance, and Singularity joined the SFI. So this is what their new token is. So do not invest into that, my friend. That's a token that's more or less dead. Exposed in 4K. Tim flooding the fucking bags, bro. It's crazy, bro. Yeah, bro, listen. What I don't understand is, Tim, I tell people, you invest into Munity 1% or less of your portfolio. And I've said it a million times, when you invest into these low caps, you have to be willing to, your bags will go down 60, 70, 50%. And if you can't stomach it, don't fucking buy it. Go buy the high caps, because they go down a lot less. The bull market will always have massive pullbacks along the way to basically get people out of the markets. The whole point of this market is very few people win, and most people lose. So if you're going to be one of the losers, look, can you guys see this? This is what you was being, Tim. FUD his own bags, then panic sells. Luckily, you did not sell, but you're FUDing your own bags. Who the fuck goes on CoinMarketCap saying I was frustrated and start FUDing your own bags? That does not make sense. You're basically, you were down, so what, you wanted to be down even more? Come on, bro. That's not good. You have to be smarter than that, my friend. I mean, I want to put 10K in a high cap coin. I know you're not a big fan large caps. Do you recommend any updates on OTK? Yeah, OTK, their team said that they will get this removed on the what's it called, on CoinGecko, on KuCoin, sorry. They said it's going to get removed, but they have the KuCoin has like a time period or something. They have to just pretty much just stomach the time period. After the time period is done, it will get removed. That's what they said. So we'll have to just wait and see. If you're going to buy any high cap, I would probably go with Ondo. All the high caps, this one has not pumped as much as the other ones, and I think it has a lot more room to grow. So this is one that I would potentially hold on to. Ondo, Injective is okay as well, but if you're looking about RWA, because these guys expanded to RWA as well. So if you want one, either go Injective or either go C. C is not too bad as well. You can always split it between 3 coins that has like 10x potential. C is a good one. This is the same investors, the same VCs that's behind Sui. So eventually both of them will pump, in my opinion. So Ondo, Sui, Injective, I think those are your 3 best bets. You can always go for mid caps as well. Someone donated £50. What the fuck? Brick and Ripping, again, great stuff. Hope you. Oh, it's fucking Sal. Sal, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the £50, my friend. Brick and Ripping again. Let's see what the fuck did I type. Bricken will continue to pump, but I promise you, this will continue to pump because once the partnership gets announced, and I'll tell you guys this, you're gonna be very shocked. You're gonna be very shocked. I'm not gonna come on YouTube and spoil it, bro, because that's like, that's trust. But I appreciate the £50, my friend. So, Team, good to see you, my friend. How you been? Which mid caps, high caps would you recommend adding to your portfolio? So I do have mid caps and high caps in my portfolio. So the ones that I hold is Ondo as a high cap, and this is one that has not yet pumped. I'm also a big fan of C. C, I think, will do very well just because the same VCs behind Sui are behind C, and the VCs will always get their bags pumped. So one way or another, they will pump this project, in my opinion. So this is a good one to get into. Ondo's a good one. This hasn't pumped as much as some of the other high caps. I mean, it's only up 22% the last 7 days. So it's not crazy amounts of pumping at the moment. And that brings it, that gives you guys more chance to accumulate. Because, I mean, even if it goes back to his all-time high, that's a 2x. I think this will smash past his all-time highs, in my opinion. I think this has at least 20 billion into it. Because this is by far the most established RWA project. By far. So, yeah. This is a good one. C is a good one. Injective is a good one because they've branched out to RWA as well. So anything RWA based, layer one, don't get low cap layer ones. You have to get the high cap ones. The high cap ones, the big VCs, they're always going to pump their own bags. So they will pump it and make retail FOMO into them. So C, Ondo, I would say those two are the best. Injective as well. You can also always get Injective. But I personally hold Ondo, C, and Injective. Those are my three favorites. I have a bag of Sui as well because I got in at the $1 range, the 1.6, 1.7, where the fuck the lows was. It was somewhere around down here. I put a trade and I bought a long-term bag. I sold my trade bag, but I still have my long-term bag. So you can always get Sui, but I mean, if any coin can reach the 50, 60 billion dollars in market cap this cycle, it'll probably be Sui. So this can easily get to $10 in my opinion. What's my thoughts on Natix? I think Natix will do well, but what kind of made me stay away from Natix at the start is specifically the unlocks. So if you look at Natix, a lot of the early investors are, I think they're still up on it, right? Let me just double check. Yeah, so if the IDOs are up down 30, the early investors are still up on the investments. You want these guys to be down about 60%, and then the early investors will be about break even. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, the one thing that kept me away from this project is early investors team basically held 45% of the supply. And, these guys will probably end sometime in the next couple of months. So by that time, this early investor shit is done. It makes sense to invest into Natix as a deep in play because they can still do well. I don't know what these tokens are. Hold on. Okay, that's the incentivization pool. So that's basically for the rewards. So yeah, I mean, in the next month, because look, the reality is this has been a stable coin anyways for the last fucking year and a half. It's just been a stable coin. So if you hold on to it, it's not an issue because it's not really going to go down. It's not going to go anywhere. But when Deepin wakes up, I think Natix will do well. I think it's a good project overall. Yeah, that's crazy, that is. What's my opinion on DEAI? I think DEAI will do okay. I think all the FUD is done, but it's been performing well recently. But that's only because it's very low in market cap. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of money to move this. It's been doing fairly well from like it's about 3x the last month. So I don't think it's a bad project overall. I think it will. I think it's pretty decent overall. It's okay to have in your portfolio, in my opinion. Or you're struggling a bit, social engagement. What do you think about starting Raid on X? That's not a bad idea. I think, look, if you guys hold that shit, the reality is if you hold it, fucking help it out. Like, do so. Like, the whole point of meme coins, why do meme coins do well? Because of the community. 1, 2, 3 YouTubers is not enough to push a coin. That's 20 million. If you guys just go on Twitter, for example, if you go on Twitter, right, and some fucking Twitter shit is talking about what altcoin's good, just type in alt, talk about a little bit or stuff like that. That's how you get a coin pumped. One of those will pick it up. When they pick it up, they'll shit it. And then another guy will see it, he will shit it. That's how it works. Just work for your bag sometimes, and I always try to shield OORT. But like I said, it will pump on its own. But if you're one of those guys that are short term and you care about short term price action, you want your coins to pump 50% in the short term. Because the reality is, even if it pumps 50%, no one's going to sell for 50% pump. We buy these low old coins for 10, 20, 30, 50x. We don't buy them for 50% pumps. But if you're one of those guys that like your portfolio being up in the short term and the numbers look nice, then just shill it somewhere. Shill it. You know, I've got people shilling it in House of Cryptos coin. Fucking Sal the legend. He's basically gone into House of Cryptos, paid the membership to show our coins. That is what a real legend looks like. Yes, Tecton will do at least a 5x, bro. Everything will do at least a 5x. Everything. From the current price, Tecton will at least do a 5x. I think it will reach at least $10 this cycle. That will give us enough time to exit, bro. Brother, okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, where's Unity again? You said that it wasn't doing anything at that time, right? Where is your comment? What time? The 30th of April. The 30th of April. Fucking hell. Let me look at where Bitcoin was on the 30th of April, bro. Let's zoom out over here. The 30th of April, okay. Bitcoin was at 80. Wait, what the fuck? No, hold on. This ain't the latest comment, bro. I swear it was more than I swear you put more than hold on. Was there not another comment? Never mind. I thought you was doing it in fucking March when Bitcoin's at 70k. Anyways, bro. Price prediction for AGI. AGI has still been working hard, to be fair, but they have some issues regarding the FTX stuff. But look, this will at least reach half of its all-time highs, bro. At least half. It'll probably reach around 30 cents on this current point, on 30 to 40 cents, in my opinion. These guys still yet to get tier 1. I think they'll get tier 1 this year. What do I think about Sensei at $1? Nah, that's not realistic, bro. It's not realistic. Fucking $1, bro. You crazy? The fuck? $1. Fuck no, bro. No, it's not gonna reach $1, bro. Yo, that's too bullish, my friend. That's way too bullish. Since covers facets of AI, what do you think the main driver of price? I think it pumped with the AI agents. We already seen alt pump with AI agents. So if we see AI agents really start to take off again, then you are going to see alt pump. It pumped 4x. And this is not an AI agent coin by any means. It's not known for its AI agents. And this is when I say every single project will pump in that category. So at that time, even though AI is not known for AI agents, and AI agents was the only thing running, guess what? It pumped with AI agents. This is why you don't have to be concerned about your bags. When layer ones pump, even Tecton will pump at least a 5x. This pumped to 4x, a very short period of time. But I think the main driver of this project, and I think what will make it stand out, is when storage pumps and when deepen pumps. Obviously, it pumped. I don't know if the made in the USA narrative will pump. It's obviously in the AI category as well, but it has so much different narratives it can pump with. It will just pump with most of them, in my opinion, because they do everything so well. So you pump with AI agents. We already seen it already. Pump 4x, pretty decent, even though it's not really known for AI agents. It's gonna definitely 100% pump with deepen, because I don't know many other coins in the crypto space that has 80,000 nodes across the world. By the time deepen pumps, it could be 90, and that is a significant number. I think that's a good buzzword, because they have this deepen page on Twitter that shows them. They have like 2 of them. So they've partnered with Deepin Union, which is I think the biggest Deepin Twitter shiller on the Twitter. So they've got some shillers, and when Deepin takes off and that guy talks about it, it's gonna pump. And then when storage pumps, it's definitely gonna pump. When you see we've put in new all-time highs, people are gonna start looking for other storage projects, and that's when alt's gonna pump with it. Because what happened last time? The last time CZ put something about building on Greenfield, the CEO of what's his name? The CEO put that these guys are the main storage providers for BNB. It just shot up on that news, so they know how to market a little bit. So when storage pumps, and these guys mention one more time that they're the main storage provider for the BNB chain, is going to pump on that news again. So obviously it's made in the US. I don't know how much that's going to affect it, but it's in the AI category. And it's also a layer one, so it will pump with the layer one as well. And then that's why I'm not concerned about all. Yes, the short-term price action is only up 23% the last 30 days. It doesn't matter. This will explode up. I've never known this. This is one of those projects. People that's been holding this for a while, they know it's not one of those that moves with the markets. One of those that will explode. And then if the market's bullish enough, the FOMO will kick in. That's what happened with AI Tech and AGI. That's why I'm not concerned. I held those for 3 months before they pumped, or 2 months. Held it through November. Everyone called it dead. Everyone called me stupid. Held it through December. The exact same thing, because everything was pumping. They were just fucking consolidating. And then when the narrative came, AI pumped in January and February. That's when they went parabolic. That's the exact same shit is going to happen with alt. I think it will pump slowly. Maybe it'll get to like 7, 8 cents, 9 cents, and then it will just randomly explode. So don't be too don't be too concerned. If anything, you guys should be accumulating more when everything's dead. Would you take profits at 140k? You mean, yeah. I mean, look, I would take profits. The way I do is I DCA out. So the way I DCA in, I DCA out. So I buy my bag slowly, and then when it explodes up, I'll start DCAing out. That's how you do it, my friend. I have all our picks, which is good to DCA. The best to DCA at the moment is OORT and prop based. I do want to look. I will get into gaming coins again at some point, but the gaming narrative is so dead. It's gonna, we're gonna have to wait for the markets to heat up a bit. Then I'm gonna buy some gaming coins. At the moment, I'm not too concerned. TARS AI will keep pumping because they're also generating. I don't think they're generating revenue. They just got a lot of shillers. They're not generating revenue, bro. I don't know anyone that uses TARS AIs. And the partnerships, I don't know who they're partnering with. I know they're partnering with Soul Foundation, but TARS AI will pump. And the reason is because they know how to market. It's as simple as that. It's a scammy coin, but it seems to know how to market. And for that reason, it probably will pump, yes. I agree with you. When you take profits, I already fucking answered that, bro. What? Do I think there will be another opportunity to see gains safe next cycle? Yes, bro, 100%. 100%. People think the next cycle is going to be some slow cycle. That's not true. Bitcoin will go to 150, come down to like 80, 90, 70, and it will go to like 300. And then the altcoins are still going to be the same. There's always going to be new altcoins, always going to be new thing. It doesn't matter. The only thing that could change it is if regulation comes. And if regulation comes, it would be better for us anyways, because you get less scams in the space. All the legit projects can finally thrive. And there will be mass QE next cycle as well. So, what I think will happen is, and I've said this a million times now, we're going to have short QE phases in the market, like 1 to 2 trillion. It's not going to be enough. They're going to do another 1 to 2 trillion. It's not going to be enough. And then they're going to realize not enough, and they're going to do a COVID-like printing. And then you're going to have that one opportunity in your lifetime to make life-changing money. You're still going to make decent money this year, but the whole, I think the main thing for any of you guys to do is to accumulate now and try and get as much cash as possible this year to go and buy into the recession next year, because the recession will come. It will come. And unemployment is not going down. Yes, it's not going up, but the only solution for it is to eventually go up, not down. So unemployment will go up. They will call the recession. Everything's going to tank massive amounts. That will be the best buying opportunity of anyone's lifetime. And I think the gap between the poor and the rich will only get bigger as time goes on. So you guys that are investing into crypto, if you are too scared to buy in that recession, you will be in that poor category. There is no middle class anymore. There's only poor and the rich. That's it. And that will only get worse because the more money you print, the higher inflation becomes, the more expensive everything becomes. So you only have a choice of either going to be poor or rich. So when you get to that recession hits, make sure you guys are buying, doing as much research as possible, because that's the only time you're going to have in the next 10 years, in my opinion, to get rich. Because what's going to come after that recession is record levels QE. And then I think after that, the fiat system will collapse and there will be something new. And we'll have to get used to the new system. So the best thing you guys can do, make as much money as this year. You don't have to get greedy this year. You don't have to just get 10x, 15x your portfolio, get the fuck out, get into the recession crash. And when you do that, when QE comes, it's going to be a record 2021 type of QE, and you're going to have a 2021 type of alt season where you can literally make 50, 200, 300, 500, 1000x. That's when you can start really seeing those numbers. But for now, keep your expectations low. Try to get a decent amount of cash to buy in that dip, because that dip will happen and the recession will happen. Despite what anyone tells you, you don't listen to them. You don't listen to institutions. Institutions say there's 30% chance of recession now. Reality is we are going to be heading to a recession. There's a lot of stuff that most people don't look at. I look at the macro side, so I understand. Most people don't. But there's a lot of issues, that they just keep hiding. We would have already been in a depression if the Fed, if the government wasn't spending as much as they are, if they wasn't printing as much as they are. It's just been hidden through the printing, and that's why GDP is high. Otherwise, GDP, we've already seen GDP in the minus. That should be a warning sign for you guys. So you don't have to worry about next cycle not having an opportunity, but you're going to have plenty of opportunity, bro. Omar, wa alaikum salam, bro. How are you doing? What's a good trade right now? I have some trades on some meme coins. I have one on Migos. This is one that I have a trade on. It's up 24% today, so I don't recommend you guys buying it now. This one has not pumped in the base ecosystem yet, so I have a trade on this. And I also have a trade on a few other coins as well. Am I bullish on Rio? Yes, I am bullish on Rio. I hold a good bag of Rio. Yes, I am, my friend. Yes. I told you, just watch the start of the stream. I said the low caps are going to pump at a later time. They're not going to pump yet. When we get to extreme greed, that's when you're going to start seeing the light links, the log X's, and the snift, and they're going to pump at a later stage. House of Crypto did a nice video on ATR. Nice. It's good to hear, man. I would hold OTK, my friend. I would hold it. Just because in the gaming run, it will always pump. GTAI, I don't really like GTAI as much. And Octo, I think, are bad projects, yes. I think Octo will pump when the narrative comes back. But I'm not keen on this project too much. I'm not keen. GTAI is not too bad anymore. It was bad at one point just because of the vesting schedule. I think the vesting is obviously probably going a lot better now. But at one point, the vesting schedule was shit for GTAI. And that's why I put it in my not worth list. So where is it? I put it somewhere around here. Yeah, I put it not worth in GTAI. At that point, this list was made back in 2023, 2024 cycle. 2024 times. So I have not updated this list in a very long time. But GTAI was not worth at that time, no. Dark has been pumping decently nice. Yeah, it will definitely come, bro. Can you tell any other than OORT? One AI coin other than OORT? Let me think. One AI coin other than OORT. I think most AI coins have pumped. That's the only issue. That's the only problem. Okay, so one RWA coin for good gains. Just get prop base for RWA. Oh yeah, Sensei, yeah. Just get Sensei. Oh no, get Nye, bro. The fuck? Get Nye? Other than OORT, get Nye. $13 million in market cap. Still very cheap. It has pumped a little bit. But is this going to go back down again? I don't really think so, because their mainnet and their the testnet and mainnet is coming out very soon. This has a massive ecosystem as well. So I would rather get Nye at this current point. Either get Sensei or Nye. But I would rather get Nye because Sensei is up like 3x. So I wouldn't get Sensei now. I'll get Nye. This is barely up like 40%. Yeah, it's only up 50, or it's up 60%. There's nothing crazy. But other than OORT, the only reason I say buy OORT is because it hasn't pumped. Everything else has pumped. Every single coin on all the agents on Solana has pumped. SNI has not pumped yet. But this is, I don't know about this one, bro. I traded this, got like 30% pump on it, and I sold it. I might re-enter for another trade. But yeah, it all depends on trading. If you're gonna buy something for long term, get NI. It's only $13 million in market cap. Not unlocked till November. Has a lot of potential. Ondo or Sui, I'll probably get Ondo. I like both of them though. I hold both. Just the only reason I say Ondo is because Ondo hasn't pumped as much as Sui. But Ondo will pump. But Sui, you can't go wrong with Sui, to be honest, this cycle. Definitely going to get Sui in the bear market, though, 100%. But anyways, guys, I do have to go somewhere. So I will be wrapping up this live stream now. Appreciate all of you guys for coming down. I will be live tomorrow as well. I'll be live tomorrow and most likely be live. Where are the burger meals? The burger meals in the private, bro. I'm going to start banging them on. We're going to do some burger meals. We've got to wait for Ali to wake up because he's our trader, bro. The burger meals. But the trades, we do a lot of trades in the private. He's been doing really well. Yeah, prop also hasn't pumped yet. So if you want to get one RWA coin, my friend, what was your name? Khalid. Get prop base, and also get Nai or Sensei, because Sensei will break out very soon. It's in a very bullish structure. The next breakout is going to be massive. But on that note, guys, I gotta go. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.